Welcome back to Houston Life. It's a simple question that can really affect your health. How well did you sleep last night? It's not uncommon to struggle with sleep from time to time, but approximately 50 to 70 million adults in the U.S. are affected by some type of sleep disorder. Joining me now from Memorial Hermann is Dr. Eileen Do, internal medicine and pediatrics doctor. Welcome to Houston Life.
Oh, thank you so much.
This is a topic that I'm sure our viewers will find fascinating. So March is actually Sleep Awareness Month. And this is a great time for us to just sort of check in with ourselves and see if there's an underlying issue. So let's just jump right in. What exactly is a sleep disorder, and when do you need to go see a doctor about your issues?
So anytime that there is a dysfunction with the sleep, meaning that you have any issues with falling asleep or even staying asleep, that is considered a sleep disorder. So it's a problem that persists more than just your typical 1 to 2 day stretches. And it really ranges about when to see a doctor, but most often people will come in when it's very, very far gone and whenever it's been several months or years that they've been dealing with it. But the best time to go to them is actually when you start to notice that, hey, my quality is not that good, I'm waking up really tired, and I'm falling asleep during the day.
And we're seeing some of the issues on the screen. Obviously, if your job is being impacted, that's concerning, right? Now, sleep habits for a lot of folks, though, like, I've had so many late nights at work, right? Or rodeo is happening, and everyone's sleep can be interrupted just by life, right? And so, as you mentioned, if you have a few off nights, that's okay, right? That is normal.
It would be strange if people didn't have off nights.
Okay.
So it is something that our bodies are anticipating, but there's ways that you can adjust to it to try to compensate and to reclaim some of that sleep back.
Okay, so what are some of those ways then?
So some things that people can do when you're trying to set yourself up to catch up on something called sleep debt, which is when you are not receiving the amount of sleep that your body requires, is doing just that. For example, if you are going out to a restaurant, you've spent more money than you thought you might, you are going to probably save a little bit more so that you're fitting within your budget.
You got to fill that bank back up, essentially.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
And we're seeing some tips on the screen to help us sleep better, right? So things like keeping your room cool, avoiding having a huge meal right before you go to bed. And the last one, this is a tough one for a lot of people, Dr. Do, because how many of us are on our phones before we go to bed? Most of us, right?
And I think what we do very poorly here in just advanced society is that most of us, especially those who are watching, tend to be pretty high-functioning individuals. So they're on a schedule. They're waking up at really early hours that are sometimes even before sun, and they're going to sleep well after sundown. So we are setting our alarms on our phone. We're actively using our phone to coordinate communication. Mm-hmm. So that light is something that blocks in a certain part of your brain called the pineal gland from making that melatonin the way you're supposed to. So now we're adding in, let's just take some exogenous melatonin from outside and just see if we can recreate it.
Wow. Okay. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers can identify with this. You recommend writing down some of your sleep habits. So is it as simple as just penciling in, hey, last night I woke up a few times during the night, and keeping track of when you went to bed, when you woke up, if you had trouble falling asleep, so you can get a sense of what your sleep patterns really look like?
It is a sport trying to get good sleep. So if you were, for example, to take a advanced football player and you're saying, hey, what are my stats? You're going to be looking at those numbers. So why not apply that to habit training? So one of the things that you can do for like your own sleep analysis is just see, what did I eat something spicy the day before? Did I eat to a fullness 8 out of 10, or did I eat to a fullness maybe 5 out of 10 that day before? And then maybe there were kids that was a night where they had really bad nightmares, they were interrupting it. So logging it and just seeing, doing your own problem solving can really help, but you need enough data to do that. So you have to do it for enough days that you have enough data, right?
Okay, that's really interesting. Did you eat 5 out of 10, your fullness 8 out of 10? What about snoring? If you have a partner at home in bed with you at night, maybe they're disturbing your sleep, or maybe you are disturbing theirs.
That is very, very
common.
True. Speaking from in one relationship right now where my partner is not a silent sleeper. So it does really affect it. And so whenever you are struggling with somebody who has their own sleep disorders and challenges, you have to really, really accommodate and then see, okay, how do we dance with each other? Am I supposed to fall asleep first? Should I be wearing earplugs? Should I be wearing ear masks? Do I need their arm to be touching me? Am I somebody who gets warm really easily? So these are things that are usually titrated per relationship, per bed partner. And so it does help when you guys both have somewhat of a regular schedule so that you can make changes accordingly. But it really, you really had to work with each other on that.
That regular schedule, we're almost out of time, but you say that consistency really is key to developing better sleep habits, sleep hygiene.
Absolutely. That's why whenever we're raising kids, we're like, okay, do whatever it is to get the kids them into bed by like 8 p.m. because they're so regular with it. And that's how we train them. And so we can't afford to have kids who are not sleeping and not growing appropriately. So same thing goes for adults too.
Yeah, and when it comes to adults, how much sleep should we be getting every single night?
It ranges per person. So as you get older, you don't need as much sleep, usually about 6 to 8 hours. But for those who are in the younger adults up until middle age, probably 7 to 9 hours is adequate.
Okay, very nice. I still have a million questions for you, but we'll leave it there. And the good news is, if you are having issues, you can get help from someone like Dr. Doe. You can find more info by visiting the website memorialhermann.org/getsleep, or you can call 713-222-CARE. That's 713-222-2273. Dr. Doe, thanks again.
You are welcome.
I'm feeling a little sleepy. I might need a nap this afternoon. I'm going to try to get 8 hours tonight. Peace and Life will be right back.